Hey everybody, welcome to One Life. It is Sunday evening, and I tell you what, this week has been a bit of a devil when it comes to speaking to people. Communication over StreamYard has been really, really difficult, and most people haven't been able to get through to the studio. But I have managed to get one, the only Lady Miranda. Everybody, how are we?
Hi.
You
Well,
okay?
it's midday here, so
Midday over there, and we are 8 o'clock in the evening on a sunny evening. I'll tell you what, I'm blending in with the background because I don't know about you. I've been out today. We went out in the sunshine in Torbay. We've been to the air show in Torbay, and it was absolutely amazing. We had such fun. But one thing I did see, which I was absolutely really love to see, is young musicians out on a stage playing music in front of thousands of people, and it was absolutely brilliant to see indie artists up on the stage making a name for themselves on such a big event. So it gave me a real big smile to my face. I think I read something on your Facebook the other day about basically young musicians and not listening to young musicians enough and appreciating their music. And this young man with a guitar was standing up in front of all these thousands of people, and I was like, you go, boy. He was really enjoying himself. It was absolutely great afternoon. So it made the day. It was really nice to see that stage and really nice to have a great day out with my partner.
that's
Been
awesome.
Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening for us here in the UK. Well, I tell you what, One Life, we've had a bit of a topsy-turvy week with the internet, but we've had a great week, okay? And we've got lots and lots of stuff to finish the week off. But today is Pinch Punch, the first day of the month. I can't actually say that. Do you say that in America? We do that in England, and we say it in the mornings. And you can't have a return after 12 o'clock. Do we have that sort of thing going on in America, or is it a British thing?
I'm gonna say that's a British thing.
It's a British thing.
Because here in America, I think half the time we forget that it's a new month.
You forget it. You're so busy that you forget it's the first day of the
You
month.
know, but that's one of the things I love about places abroad is that time moves differently,
It
and
does.
we really need to adopt that here because my way my brain works, like I should be over there because I here it's too much.
It's too much over for you over there. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not that's not as easy over in the UK, to be honest. And the only time I remember when a new month comes is because I know that I've got to say goodbye to a charity. And it really makes me sad because we spend a whole month with a charity. We get to know them really, really well, and then we have to go and change and have a brand new charity. So the first of the month is always bit of a sad thing, but also a bit of a happy thing because we get to support a brand new charity. So we have got the wheel for the month, and we find out who the brand new charity is going to be, and we're going to spin that in a minute, and we're going to find out which artist is going to represent us for the month. And also which charity we're going to get. It could be anybody, and we could also get any challenge for the month. And it's something I really enjoy because some of our artists are really good at getting engaged and actually get everybody to do some really crazy great things, and raising money for a new charity is an absolutely lovely thing to do. So we're going to do that in a minute, everybody. In terms of One Life, yes, One Life Radio is live next week. We go live next week in the studios in sunny Torbay, and we get to play all our indie artists One Life music live to the world by South Devon Airways. So how cool is that? In my very own hometown, all of my artists on One Life, like Lady Miranda, her cool music can be played on the airways over here on digital and DAB FM as well. Apparently they're a bit upper class over here, but it's an absolute great radio show, and I'm glad that we can finally have a radio show dedicated to One Life and also dedicated to the charities that we're going to be supporting throughout the month as well. So get your music in. Lady Miranda, I am going to put your music over to the radio this week. It's already gone. I think I sent it yesterday, so you don't need to send it in unless you've got any more coming in the next few weeks, which I probably know you probably have because I know what you like in the studio. There's always new things coming through, so keep sending us that amazing music.
We're about to go back into the studio. My producer's moving his studio from one location to another, and we're getting a bigger studio.
Oh,
So
cool.
we'll be going back into the studio here in a couple of weeks to start album number 4.
See, I knew that. Yeah, I know what you're like. There's always new music coming out, and I always look forward to hearing your music. We're going to talk about your music and play some of your music that you sent over to me for everyone to listen to. In relation to the CMAs, I have had messages from Caden. I've had messages from everybody who's going over to CMAs, in terms of Sassy, etc. You're all having an amazing trip already. You've arrived safely. So please have a great time at the CMAs. And we're going to get some interviews and also some live updates from the CMAs for you live on One Life. And that's in relevance to all the artists who are part of One Life. We're going to have bit of a track this week and find out how they're all getting on. An exciting time at the CMAs. Do you know, Lady Miranda, have you had any dealings with the CMAs before? Is that anything that you've done in your music career?
No, because country is not one of my genres.
No, it's not. So, do you know what? For those who are going, have great time and we will cover it, okay? So, in relation to One Life as well, the Stone Poets, if you're listening, you are going to be on my indie radio this Thursday for the Rewind show on One Life. So if you remember, Miranda, once we've had this interview, it gets sent all the way to my indie radio over in France, and the Rewind will be played on audio version only. So if you want to watch the live interview, you can go to YouTube. But if you want to listen to it on my indie radio, that's on a Thursday. And we don't know what artist who's going to be chosen, because Muriel just basically texts me sort of a few days before and says, right, I've just randomly picked this artist. So I never really know who's going on. It's a great, great show. And it's a really nice time to listen to your interview again, but on audio. In relation to One Life, only one more thing to update you on. We are going to have a festival for Mental Health Awareness Month in October. So that festival will start on the 10th of October, and it'll either be on the 10th, the 11th, or 12th. So please mark that in your diaries, because we are going to try and get as many artists involved from One Life as we can, as it will be our first ever festival for One Life, and we are really excited. We have virtually sorted a venue for 750 people to watch our artists. And it's in the sunny capital of Torbay, in Torquay. So whoever comes over to the United Kingdom and plays for our festival, they're going to have an absolute great holiday. October time over in the UK, I wouldn't say it's the sunniest of times, but in terms of having a lot of fun, you can still get your fish and chips. You can still go down the arcade and you can still get an ice cream down by the beach. But, it's absolutely great fun, and it's still a really, really busy place to be. Okay, so yeah, that's One Life wrapped up for you in a nutshell. Before I get hold of what our amazing guest has been up to over the last 6 months, because how has 6 months? I just want to quickly ask that. Where's 6 months gone? I always do this when I get artists back on the show, and I'm thinking, 6 months? Really? Where did that go?
That had been amazing. Longer. I could have sworn it'd been longer.
That's what I was thinking when I was looking back at your interviews. I was like, I'm sure it's been longer than 6 months, but even if it's 6 months, it's like half a year. I can tell you where my 6
months have gone. I don't know where anyone else's 6 months.
I really don't know. I really don't know. Yours has probably been in the studio. You've been stuck in the studio, but you've also, and we will talk about this a bit more, you've had some ups and downs over the last 6 months. You've stayed strong and your music's continued, which has absolutely been amazing. We'll bring that up in your interview. But let's go to the charity of the month, because I'm interested on who is going to give us the amazing charity for the month. So we are going to spin this amazing wheel of ours. Let's see who it is. Miranda, I've actually put you on. I don't normally put the first of the month on in terms of the previous month for May, but I've put you on because I wanted to add you onto this one. So who have we got in this month? We have got, and a big thank you to all of these artists who joined me last month. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for supporting One Life. So we've got Diamond Mind, we've got Michael, we've got the Romans, Sassy VJ, Rosaline, Omar Wilson, Miranda, yourself, the Hope Foundation, Henry, and Seems Like Tuesday. Did we really get through all those? Wow. I thought it was a really quiet month. It's never a quiet month on One Life. Anyway, let's give it a spin. Let's see who it is, and let's see who is going to represent us this month. Okay, here we go. I love spinning that wheel. It's fun. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, cool. Seems Like Tuesday. They're going to love this. I wonder who they're going to bring to the table. So, Seems Like Tuesday, if you are listening, you are the artist of the month, okay? So, you get to do whatever you want on One Life, but also give us a great charity to come and talk to us about. Keep it nice and interesting and get everybody, like Miranda, engaged for the month of June, okay? I will contact you after the show and we will find out who you're going to choose and what you're going to do. Brilliant. Excellent. I like doing that. It's fun. There you go. Fantastic. So, Miranda. Where do we start? I spent all afternoon looking through your bio and your Facebook page, and I was reading, and every single week there's something new on your post. I'm like, how am I going to get through all these questions? One thing I want to do, start straight away. Are you looking forward to ISSA this year?
Of course. Yeah, of course. I think I've just about everything set. I still have to get my plane ticket, but that's about it. Everything else is booked. I've got my ticket for the award show. I've got my dress. Got to get Elsie a dress, but that's yeah.
That's the number one question. How's Elsie? If anyone doesn't know Miranda, and it's the first time you met Miranda, Miranda has a support dog called Elsie, and it's the cutest dog in the world, and the dog goes everywhere with you, doesn't it? Eh? So, and I think the most important thing that we all want to know is what Elsie will be wearing at the awards. Has she got an outfit sorted yet?
Not
Any
yet.
ideas?
I have no idea what kind of outfit we're doing this year. I try to match her colors to my dress. So, like, back in 2023, I wore black. She wore black. Last year, I wore red, and I had this really beautiful red tutu skirt made for her. But it kept sliding down, and she was getting very annoyed because I kept putting it back. And so she just kind of finally was like, "Can we please just take this off?" And so we ended up taking it off, but it was adorable. So this year I said, okay, if we're gonna do another skirt business, we're gonna need some suspenders. So I think
suspenders for the dog,
so it doesn't keep falling off.
It's the most classiest dog ever. Because I tell you what, Miranda, I'm sorry. I've been reading your Facebook over the last few months, and we've got, photo shoots in terms of being a foundation member for someone. You actually have shoots done, don't you? And, you've got a new line of shoes coming out. And I'm just thinking about Elsie, and I'm thinking, if Miranda's like this, does she also just have her own line of everything? Will she be wearing new shoes to the awards? Will there be a new outfit? And whose wardrobe is bigger? Is it yours or is it hers?
I'm not. No, mine is still bigger, but she's harder to shop for. Although I will say I just bought her a new pair of shoes, and this is the most I've ever spent on a pair of dog shoes before.
I was joking about the dog shoes. Oh my god, seriously?
No. So the line that I'm designing are human shoes. Okay. They don't make dog shoes. But I did buy her a new pair because she needed a new pair, and I came across this brand that has like 5-star reviews from thousands and thousands of people, and I'm like, okay, well, what's so great about these shoes? And so they're expensive. But they seem to be worth it, so hopefully they'll last a long time.
They will. And everybody's so excited about her being there and about you being there at the awards, So you are up for 4 categories this year?
I will ever be. What was that?
Is it 4 categories this year?
3.
Three categories. Okay, so tell our audience what you're going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, taking home with you.
So I am nominated in Album of the Year and Vocalist of the Year and Emerging Artist.
Fantastic. Which one are you most excited about?
That's hard.
It is, and I always ask it because I think, do you know what? We all, when it comes to nominating or being nominated, we put up our categories. When there's always one. For me, this year, obviously, it's just podcasting. You know, next year I might actually put myself up for some vocal stuff. But for you personally, what's the one that you've worked hardest on, and the one that you feel that you really want people to appreciate for you as an artist?
Well, and that's why it's hard, because I would say this year it's pretty neck and neck for Album of the Year and Vocalist of the Year, because this album, it's very solid, but it's also I keep improving every album that comes out, both vocally and artistically, and this album kind of tied both of those things together, and it shows how much I've grown, not just as an artist but as a vocalist. And so for me, those two are pretty equal for this particular album.
Definitely. And are we talking about Conducting Chaos? Is that the one?
We're talking about The Rain Continues. Conducting Chaos was last year's album, and that one won 5 awards.
This is why I find it hard to keep up with you, because there's so many albums and so many singles.
Behind.
And when you sent your bio, you didn't even put your latest album in your bio. I'm sure when I sent it, I was thinking, Miranda, you haven't updated your bio to your latest album. No, you didn't, did you? You made it hard for me.
It doesn't have any albums listed on purpose, because that way I don't have to keep updating my bio every. It has no albums listed in my bio at all.
Well, okay. So tell the audience a bit about this new album of yours. Okay, let's start off with the title, and then we'll talk about the song, shall we? So the title of the new album?
It's called The Rain Continues, and Rain is spelled like my last name. It's a play on words. So if you guys have ever seen my logo, it's got a crown.
We have.
And it's meant to, because it's, all about kind of being the queen of whatever I'm doing. So Rain, normally when you think about a queen, is spelled R-E-I-G-N. My last name is Rain, R-A-I-N-E, which is French, by the way, and the meaning of that name actually is queen. So all of this ties in together, and most people don't realize it. Like, I'm very methodical about this. It's so my last name literally means queen. It is derived from the French language, and so instead of Rain, R-E-I-G-N, I spelt it like my last name. The Rain Continues, as in my reign continues.
Oh, cool. That sort of makes sense. It makes sense to you, but probably to the listeners, it didn't make sense. I know. Do you know what? I was thinking I was talking to someone the other day,
and I will make it.
I was talking to someone the other day, and they said they had made 40 albums. So you've got some one catching up to do, and two, if all of them are going to have such methodical, I can't even say the word, in terms of connections to their songs, I think, what are we going to look forward to on this album? Why is this album going to be better than the last one? Because you did have 5 awards from the last one. Come on. I have seen these, Miranda, every single time I open your Facebook. We have got award after award after award. How's this new one going to be better than the last one, which had 5 awards?
Because the only person I'm ever trying to outdo is myself. So if I try to outdo everybody else, forget it. We'll be here all day. I try to outdo myself each album. This album is rock heavy. It's mostly rock, but I did something a little unique with this album. I did, of course, one of my signature moves, which is threw some rap lyrics in the middle of a rock song. But I also brought grunge back.
Cool. I love the blend. So we've got grunge, we've got rock.
doing grunge so much anymore. Grunge was really popular in the 90s, and it was a really
It
popular
was.
alternative style. And I really love that style of music. And so when I was building this album, I was kind of like reminiscent of like stuff that I used to listen to in high school and things of that nature. And so I've got one song that is uh, one of my heavy influences is Evanescence because I absolutely love that band. But
Evanescence, great band.
yeah, so I've got a song that's got their influence of style in it, and that one has the rap lyrics in it also. But then I've got another song that's more like Nirvana-esque, where it's kind of a grungier
Ooh.
feel. And so yeah, I
Vanessa,
have like
actually, Vanessa's sitting here next to me this evening, and we were talking about Nirvana the other day. So Miranda's bringing out her new album, and she's sounding a bit grunge, and it's got a bit of a rock feel to it, and a bit of a Nirvana, mixed into it. Those sort of sounds. It sounds really cool. Actually, I'm really looking forward to this coming out. Already I've got a really good vibe to it.
yeah, I had a lot of fun with this album, and I feel like I have the most fun and the most success with albums that flow really naturally. And this album was one of those where everything just kind of flowed really seamlessly, and it was just song after song after song, and it kind of built itself.
Love that. I love that. How about sort of writing the song lyrics themselves? You're on you say your fourth album now. Does it get harder or does it get easier each time you write an album? Does it get easier to sort of put stories behind the lyrics or does it get harder? For those who are just up and coming and thinking about doing their first album, when you get onto the fourth, fifth, sixth album, does it get harder? Do you run out of things to talk about?
Me personally, no. But I will add this caveat is that whether it gets harder or not is going to be dependent on a few things. It's going to be dependent on what kind of life you've led.
Yeah.
It's going to be dependent on what kind of life you continue to lead. But it's also going to be dependent on how you perceive the things around you. So part of my experience is that, I've been through a lot of very difficult things in my life. And so I always have a lot to draw off of, but I'm also always growing. But then I also have this perception of things around me that's very different because I'm autistic. And so I view the world kind of in a different lens. And so I can draw from that also. So I almost feel like I have more things to draw from than maybe your average artist might. It's kind of,
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
it,
We've had a lot over the last, say, well, even since COVID, but most recently over the last few years in terms of topics of conversation, should we say,
mhm.
and they keep changing daily. So for artists, in terms of writing new songs, you know, thinking about new topics, thinking about new ways to write new songs. Actually, it must be quite an exciting time. You mentioned a singer on your Facebook this week called Young Blood.
Yeah,
And his music I find absolutely amazing. One, because
his
he's a young
music
up
is
and coming
fun.
singer, but in terms of the way he, gets his lyrics about actually what's going on in his life, what's going on in people's lives. I see very much that being done quite a lot lately. And he's very influential to a lot of young artists at the moment who are up
Right.
and coming, and a lot of people are following like some of the styles and the messages that he's putting in the songs. One of the things for you is obviously the way around autism and neurodivergency and being what you've just started up, being a life coach. Do you think people are starting to draw off ideas off yourself as an artist? Are people talking to you about things that they want to do?
Um, I don't know if they're people that I talk to as far as life coaching usually aren't musicians, but you know, I do get told a lot about you're an inspiration. I hear that one a lot, and to be honest, I'm glad that people see me that way, but at the same time, I'm not always certain why. And it's
Well,
because
you are, and I
it's
think it's
not
hard
something
when
I'm
people give you
focused on.
compliments, Miranda. But I am going to give you compliments. Okay, over the last 6 months, what I have read and what I have followed you through. You've been through a lot. You've been through surgery. You have been through ups and downs in your music career. But one thing you have been is very battling, very supportive, and very, keeping yourself going for the music industry, but also keeping yourself going for yourself. And, supporting people in relation to those who are neurodivergent, those who are autistic. You've always got a supportive nature to you. And those people who basically give you those compliments, please take them, because for these past 6 months, out of any artist that I've seen on my Facebook, you have been through some really difficult times, but you've always kept a smile, and you've always tried to find ways to make your music amazing or to help other people. And I just wanted to say that was a real pleasure looking over the last 6 months. And I said to my partner, it's a real pleasure to see artists grow the way they do, but also help and support people the way they do, in the way that you've done. And so many different topics that you've covered over the last 6 months have been absolutely amazing. So well done, you.
Oh, I appreciate that. And I guess what I
You've got a
meant
little.
was that,
Go on.
being an inspiration isn't like what I'm aiming for. And so that's why I say I don't always understand why people see that. But I mean, I take the compliment, but it's not my goal. And so like I don't come out
No.
here and be like, oh, how can I be inspiring? Like I don't think about it. So
But you are
which
inspiring people. You are
young
inspiring
men is
people in the
actually,
way that you do your work. And I think it's hard to see where you are inspiring people. But if took a step back and looked how you are supporting them and inspiring them, you've done so many projects this month, which will help every single indie artist in the music industry. From a video that they can put on to their music, to a karaoke competition that you're setting up. You're always doing something. You're always busy. I don't know what you're coming up with next.
it's because I'm always bored.
I'm sure Elsie's not going to see it that way. Elsie's going to be like, "Mummy, if you're bored, take me for a walk more."
That's exactly how she sees it.
Miranda, we're going to play your great tracks coming up soon, because we're going to have a little bit of a break. We're 27 minutes in. You have got a little bit of a message, one from Uganda. So we are working with a Ugandan orphanage over in Uganda. And Freddie Mambula says to say hello to Miranda from Uganda. And that's come over from the
Hi,
children
Fred.
over in the Hope Foundation as well.
Wow.
So, Freddie, welcome to the show. I'm glad you're listening. I hope you're having a good time, and I hope the kids are being nice and good for you this evening, because it is 10 to 10 or 10 to 11. I'm going to ask Vanessa, what's the time over in Uganda at the moment?
Ooh.
She's looking on Google. Look,
At night?
I thought she'd like being South African. I thought 1 hour ahead.
1 hour.
1 hour to tell me now. So, Freddie, they should all be tucked up in bed anyway. I don't know, Miranda. I don't know if you've seen the Hope Foundation, but they wake me up every morning with a song or a dance, or playing instruments. They're absolutely amazing, and they are in the process of doing a single with Vanessa. So they're 2 hours ahead. Oh, okay, they're 2 hours ahead. Okay, so
That's why he's listening.
Freddie,
all the kids are sleeping.
That's it. All the kids are sleeping, and Freddie's got some time to himself. There is a lot of kids in that orphanage, I tell you. We'll go back to the show and what's the Hope Foundation, Miranda, because the amount of kids in that orphanage, I don't know where he puts them all. There's absolutely loads of them. So let's pick a tune, okay? Let's get a tune on, okay? Because it is Sunday, and they're quite mellow tunes that you've sent over to me today. But I really enjoyed them, and I always do. So let's put on Casualty. Tell me a bit about that one.
Oh, I had so much fun making this song. I I ran across this beat and it got stuck in my head, and I was like, this is really good. And then this is one of those songs that kind of wrote themselves, but sometimes I like to play with stories. And everybody, everything about me isn't on Facebook. Look, I'll just say that. Okay, so there are things in my life that I have done in the past, or have thought about doing in the past, or like different parts of my personality that I've experimented with and things of that nature. And this song kind of derived from that.
Cool. I like that. So let's play it for the audience. Let's take some time to listen to it. Miranda, you can have a little bit of a break while the audience enjoy a bit of Casualty. Here we go. Love it, love it, love it. Always do. Always love your music. How did you feel when that first got released and it come to your speakers live?
Oh,
was it as good as what you thought it was while you was in the studio? Or did you think, I actually love that song?
No, I was really, like I said, I had a lot of fun making this song. And what was interesting about doing this song, like I said, I like to play with stories. And so like part of my storytelling twisting is that sometimes I like to take perspectives based on what we normally see and twist them to the other side. And so I'll have conversations with friends of mine about like how dating is in 2025 or
I've seen this.
2024 when I really.
You beat me to it. I was going to get to a great question on this. Go for it.
So, I have a love-hate relationship with online dating. Um, and a friend of mine and I, we always joke about things that I'll see on profiles or strange messages I get sent from random people. Um, and and so we always it I don't want to say we always, but a lot of times women are perceived as one way, men are perceived as another. And it's usually like, um, oh, men are the ones that don't ever want a relationship. Men are the ones that don't ever want to. And I'm being very general here. I'm not saying that's all men or anything like that. So nobody come after me, okay? I'm being very
I'll tell you,
general.
all the men, calm down, okay? Just calm down. Just wait till she
Yeah,
gets to the
I'm
final
gonna
question.
explain, whether you're man, woman, binary, whatever. I'm being very general. And so I've had these experiences where someone's not a good fit and you keep
Yeah.
trying to tell them you're not a good fit and they keep trying to insist that they are. and so and so I took that experience and then I twisted the other side of the story where it's like we always hear that, oh, men don't really, they just want casual things. And I said, well, what if a woman wanted that?
Yeah.
And so I took
So,
that experience and this story and I kind of melded them together and flipped it on its head. And so the song is really a woman who doesn't want a relationship, but a man who keeps insisting that she should have one with him. And what happens is he gets hurt and she doesn't.
get it now. I get it now. But it is complicated. We were talking about this on the show a few days ago with Sassy, and we were talking about sort of relationships and for musicians in sort of like in the modern day, for
Possible.
Sassy, she moves around from hotel to hotel and country to country being a music artist. And someone directly said to her, it must be impossible for you to form relationships with someone, but also, be able to even contemplate it because she's moving country to country because she's so busy with her music. But for people that are neurodivergent, relationships are very difficult for some neurodivergent people anyway.
All
In terms of forming
neurodivergent.
relationships, yeah, all neurodivergent,
I
yeah.
haven't
Miranda
found
say
one
all
yet that says
neurodivergent.
it's easy.
It's not. So you've got a double header really. You've got the fact that you've got autism, and then the fact that you are a artist at the end of the day, and people wanting to approach you, whether they're going to be able to spend time with you because you're so busy. You've got a double-edged sword in relation to relationships. Being autistic and being a musician. It must be really difficult for you, and but you still try and you still find ways to sort of find out because it's a lonely business being a musician, isn't it? At the end of the
Well, not
day.
so much
But
trying much anymore, but um, for me, I think being autistic is the bigger challenge than being a musician. Although being in music does come with a set of challenges also. So in my work, I work from home. I work remotely, so I can literally work from anywhere. And
yeah,
that's something that does help in terms of like, if I were to ever date somebody else and they had a job that was in a specific place, like that's fine. I can work from wherever. But
mm,
communication as an autistic person looks different.
yeah,
And a lot of people and what they think is direct communication isn't direct enough. And and so, people seem to think that, oh, well, if I just come right out and say it, that's direct, which it is. But if you don't include every detail with that,
mm,
it's not
mm.
enough for an autistic person.
It's a
And
difficult world.
so it's like
It
taking
must
direct
be a very complicated world.
and pushing it like a mile further into more directness. and people don't realize that there's such a thing as being even more direct than just being direct.
Definitely.
So,
Do you know what? I
yeah.
was thinking about your business. You know, you've put out karaoke masterclass, and you've put out a new video service on your website, and you've also put out live coaching. What I didn't expect over the last 2 weeks is to think, do you know, actually, one thing that could actually make you £1 million is dating apps for autistic people. You know,
There
an
is one.
an autistic Tinder, or an autistic, you know, sort of, you know,
There is
app
one.
almost goes towards it. Is it?
Yeah, but
Fantastic.
it's got no, it's got bad reviews.
How's it? Oh,
Apparently,
okay.
apparently it's very expensive, first of all.
Okay.
Um, and it and I think that prevents a lot of people from using it, because what a lot of folks don't understand is that 85% of autistic adults don't work.
Exactly. And
So
we're still in that
you're gonna
position
make
in
an
the
app.
UK. There's a lot of people not working in the UK who are autistic.
Yeah,
Still
if you're gonna
crazy
make
numbers. We spoke about this. It's like still
yeah,
going on, isn't it?
if you're gonna make an app for autistic people and then put everything behind a paywall, they're not gonna use it, because if you're charging a
Exactly.
lot and they're not working, it's not worth their while.
I think
So
it should be free. I think it should be free for all neurodivergent people to have a dating app, to be able to meet one another, but feel comfortable that it's actually made by someone who is autistic or neurodivergent, and that actually they're able to have the same experiences as everybody else. I think that'd be absolutely. I think that's a bit of a money winner there, Miranda. I think that's another business idea for you to put to one side. I think you should develop one.
if someone wants to sponsor one,
I knew you were going to say that.
the money.
Miranda's always coming up with new ideas.
The
There you go. I'll get Vanessa. I'll get Vanessa on that one as well, because I'm sure she'd be absolutely interested for Riley as well. We were talking about dating apps for autistic people and how expensive dating apps are for autistic people anyway. But if there was a dating app, wasn't there a TV program ages and ages ago in like the 90s or something about for disabled people meeting up with each other? Do you remember that, Vanessa?
There is a show.
There is this one.
There's a show called Love on the Spectrum, and I don't know how you get on it.
Love on the Spectrum. That must be a US thing, but I can't remember what the UK one is, because Vanessa's looking at me as if to say there is someone. It's like a dating on Netflix, but there should be a dating one for musicians. That's what I was thinking, Miranda. I was thinking it just should purely be autistic musicians and and people who are in the music industry. I think that'd be a real game changer. I think if we did that in one live, is basically we had a dating like app or like show.
You just gave me a great idea. Cool. Let's do a dating game show live.
A dating game show live. There you go. Only for neurodivergent people only. That's
why not?
The good thing of it. Yeah, I think everyone else actually gets those sort of things. We've got Love Island and things like that for everyone else.
Right,
we'll just have our own one.
That's come out of our mouth.
That's very true, man. That's very true. I'd love that. Okay, there you go. I'll give you a podcast show. Cut 2 times a week on One Life. We love a One Life challenge, okay? Miranda's going to host it. She's going to do the dating show for neurodivergent musicians. And we're going to have it twice a week.
We'll once a week because it's too busy in the studio. Questions where, which date setting would you prefer? Let's talk about the real stuff for autistic people. What food should you never feed me?
What food should you never feed Miranda? There you go. Right. Okay. If you want,
I know neurodivergent people that won't eat certain foods because of textures or
colors,
or whatever,
or smells. Yeah. Well, we basically gave Riley tonight, bless him. We gave Riley some Ethiopian food because we went from the air show and they were serving Ethiopian food, and basically we called Riley down because he normally every time we go out says, "What have you brought me back?" because he doesn't want to come out. It's like, "What have you brought me back with food?" And then basically we got some more Ethiopian food, and bless him, he did give it a go, but I was thinking about colors and textures. He loved it, didn't he? Until we got towards the more you ate it, the more he disliked it.
So now I've had Ethiopian food. I like their food, but I'm sorry, Ethiopia. We got to talk about your unleavened bread.
The what
It's
bread?
sour.
That's what we had tonight. I don't know, Freddie, if you're
The
still listening to
unleavened,
the
I
show,
forget
we've
what it's
tried
called.
this bread tonight between the three of us. Have you tried it then, Miranda?
Yes, I've had Ethiopian food. I like the food, like the lamb and the other things, but the bread, no.
No, the bread, it's a desired taste. But Vanessa, you have tried it because you went to Ethiopia, didn't you? And this is how this discussion all come about today. Because Vanessa
It's
done some charity work over in Ethiopia, and she tried it, and she wanted all of us to try it. It's got a certain texture, isn't it?
well, it's like drinking sour milk in solid form.
Sour milk in sour form. I don't know. I don't know what I thought to it.
Tastes
You
like
know.
sour milk, which I don't know anybody that likes to just down sour milk, but I don't.
It's a desired taste, but it was work. Do you know what? One thing I love is actually trying things from new countries, you know, and whether
I
that's
do
music or
actually.
whether that's food, you know, I will not try anything. Like I know Vanessa's sort of when she goes over to South Africa, is going to be getting me to eat a nice bowl of makami worms, you know. So I don't know whether or not I'm going to go the insect route, you know. And maybe that's for your game show, Miranda. Perhaps you could include that on your game show, on your dating game show.
Will you eat insects?
If you want to date me, will you actually go to the degree of eating the bowl of insects which I have sent over to you?
All of us would stay single.
Do you know, actually, I think I'd give it a go. I might give it a go. I might give it a try.
I've eaten, I love trying new foods, and I've eaten a lot of different things. I draw the line at insects. I've had escargot, and I did like it. I've had uni, and I like it, but I draw the line at insects.
Yeah, no, did you know what? I think I may draw the line at insects, but apparently if I do go, I have to give it a try, you know, because
Sorry,
the
Vanessa,
culture
it's not
over
happening.
there. Vanessa's like, yeah, but Miranda says it's not happening. So if you get a tour, you know, next time you do a tour, because I know you like a good tour, and I know you're the type of artist who basically can't sit still, and they like to go on tour, and they like to go to new places. Okay, would you ever go over to South Africa and places like this? Is it one?
Only
What's
if
on your
they're
map?
not going to feed me bugs.
And if they're not going to feed you bugs. They don't know what was feed bugs
What
over
else
there.
do
They do
you
some
got over
grooming.
there? I'm not doing bugs.
What else have we got over there? Not doing bugs. Biltong.
It's like jerky. What?
It's like jerky. Apparently, it's like jerky.
Made out of what, though? I need details.
I'm like, we'll do this after the show. We could be talking about this all night. And Vanessa's still wanting to do her quiz tonight. So anyway, in relation to sort of neurodivergent people, we have put you on a bit of a program of support for One Life. We are trying to find out a new way in which we can help and support neurodivergent musicians in terms of, you know, what topic areas would you want help from One Life? Okay, because I tell you what, Miranda's desperately in the need of supporting you all and finding out what is out there for you in terms of what the difficulties for musicians in the current day and age when it comes to neurodiversity. So I did say to Miranda last month, you know, could you come on board with us at One Life? And she has said that she would be welcoming to come over to One Life. But actually, she's put in a bit of a position of where does she fit? What is it we're going to get her to do? So we're not just going to get her to do dating shows, although that does sound quite fun. Okay, we would like you to put in the comments tonight. Okay, go to her Facebook page, go to her bio, find out a bit about the last two interviews that we've done with Miranda, and let's think of something really, really clever to be able to help all of the neurodivergent artists out there. Because I tell you what, if you're anything like Miranda, you put your head to the stone and you bring out great albums, great singles, and also many, many awards do happen when you put your mind to it. But actually, for you, Miranda, that's been a huge task to do, and that must be a huge task for brand new musicians who are coming onto the stage. So have you had any more thoughts about any thoughts that you would like to try and help people with?
Oh, I have a lot of thoughts.
That's a lot of
Whether
thoughts.
they're in order or not is another story. But I'm always just trying to find ways to give back to the music community in general, which is why I did for people that were nominated for ISSA when it was April for voting month. I did do free video ads for them because we get a graphic which is beautiful and it's great, but every April I see a bunch of the same graphic and you start to lose track of who's what.
That's true.
And so I started doing it for myself first. I'm like, let me see how this works, and I've always been good with computers and visual arts and design. And I've done a lot of that kind of work in other areas with books and things, design work and stuff. So once I figured how to do it for myself, I started saying, hey, if anyone else wants one, I'm happy to do it for you for free for this month. And then I started getting asked questions. Well, do you make these for music releases? And I was like, well, I don't know. I've never really thought about it before. So, it kind of turned into a thing where it's like, yes, now I'll do it. But what I have found in the music community, and again, this is especially true for the neurodivergent community, is that a lot of things that are good for artists are expensive. And it's the same thing with like social media promotion or whatnot. Yes, there are people out there that do it. It costs money. And when you're not only autistic, but you have a lot of autistic people and neurodivergent people have other health problems. It's very common for people on the spectrum to have physical health problems along with being autistic. And so when you're in that boat, sometimes you spend time out of work if you are working, or sometimes you have to be at home recovering because you're dealing with this thing, or you've got medications to worry about, or you've got physical therapy or other things that are more important for your money. And so I wanted to make it accessible. And so now on my website, I actually made a page for it. If people want any kind of advertising video, I'll do it. And you just make a donation. And this is kind of the way of saying whatever you can afford to give. I'm not going to question the amount that you put in there, because I don't expect people to tell me their whole financial background, because it's personal and people get embarrassed about, why their finances are terrible. And I don't want to put anyone on the spot. I know what that feels like. They do it for state programs and things of that nature when you need help. And I hate going through that. And so I didn't want to put anyone else through that. And so there's just a number of things that I try to do to help the music community. And it's kind of my way of giving back, but also being able to continue doing those things in a way that makes sense.
Fantastic. I like that. And I'll tell you what, we will talk about this offline, and we will start to think about how we can use that amazing brain of yours, because you get into so many different things. It's such lovely. If every single neurodivergent person can follow your career, we would have some amazing, and we do. I'm sorry, I'm generalizing now, and I'm not putting you on the spot. We do have a lot of amazing neurodivergent singers, artists, dancers. We celebrate that. When we think about some of the people who put on award shows for neurodivergent people, but to help more people develop their art, to help more people be able to feel confident enough about even doing things like going into the studio, being able to write music, feeling confident to know that they can achieve that, that it's achievable. You've done it. It took a long time, but you achieved it, and you've got the awards to show for it. You've got so much that you can offer people, and we will think of a program of support that Miranda can put together to how to support you all in the neurodivergent community. But if there's anything that you can think of yourself out there, please put it in the comments. We will, as a team, be working on this project over the next few weeks, but we do want to help as many neurodivergent artists out there as much as possible. So if you're hearing tonight's show and you want some support, Miranda's going to be putting something amazing together. And if you just wanted to do the dating show, yeah, we'll just do that. We'll put a day together and we'll do that. Anyway, we've got one more song to play of yours, and we've also got Vanessa's favourite time of the night is we've got a special quiz. So we are going to support Seems Like Tuesday because we can't get hold of them at the moment. We will try and get hold of them as much. So I've just sent them a message, okay? But we're going to support you, Seems Like Tuesday. Whatever your charity is, we're going to have a little fun to start with for the month, okay, as it's the 1st of June. But we're going to play your song, Miranda, and then we're going to find out what the quiz is going to be about because Vanessa has gave us a long list of different quiz types. So we're just going to basically spin it and see which one we get, okay? So let's put Wasting Time on now. Tell us a bit about it.
This is actually my favorite song on the album.
Good.
This is the one you're going to hear that real Evanescence influence in this one.
Oh, nice.
This is also kind of written about the whole, like, again, the dating experience and about how you feel like you're wasting time with someone because it's just not working.
There's a bit of a theme going on with this album.
Right.
I like it. I like it. I have heard this song today and I really did like it. Let's put it on for everyone. Let's everyone enjoy it. And then we're going to have a bit of fun. We're going to have a bit of a quiz, okay? To start off, Seems Like Tuesday's charity of the month.
Vanessa quiz.
Now, Vanessa's playing as well. She's playing along, and you always do, okay? Right, okay, let's put Wasting Time on. Here we go.
Pretend.
「
be the same. I tried to say before it was never gonna work. We better quit now before someone gets hurt. I knew you was trouble when you walked through the door. But what you didn't know was that ain't even on the score. One heartbreak so leads to another. But it won't be mine cause I got that covered. A heart made of gold wrapped in a cage of steel. You look at me like you can't believe all this is real. You say you got love but love is not what I feel. Don't tempt me now cause I will go for the kill. Believe I'm getting ready. All this is getting heavy. You don't know what you want and the game is getting gritty steady. Boy, I will crash this plane. You're making me insane. With all this time we're wasting, I won't last another day. We're just wasting time on this scary. Nothing's ever changing. You'll always be the same. We're just wasting time, hoping on. When we both know the love is gone.
Absolutely love it. Love your voice in that, but also love the rap. That was, I think that's the best rap I've heard you do on any of your singles because it was really enchanting. It's got one of those songs. You get quicker with your rap music, young lady.
I practice, so
You practice. Rap music for me, I cannot do rap music. I'm rubbish at rap music. You got that one on spot towards the end there.
That rap cadence was actually more Eminem inspired.
It was Eminem. It definitely was Eminem.
Who I thought of when I was making the cadence for that. But I do listen to specific rap artists that I know rap fast, and I will learn their songs and I'll practice their songs because it helps me with my own rap cadence. And so I learned how to get faster by practicing other rap songs.
That's impressive. What else are you going to come up with? I tell you.
My producer was like,
the amount of different styles that you come up with, and then like all of a sudden towards the end of this single, you're singing like Eminem and keeping up with him as well. Jeez, what else is going to come up next?
I'm going to be playing with some Japanese lo-fi.
You're going to be what? Playing with some Japanese lo-fi? Seriously?
I've written some songs to some Japanese lo-fi. We're going to make it happen.
Oh my God, seriously. You just come up with one thing after another. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, let's get on with our quiz, okay? I'm going to make this a bit more fun tonight, okay? Because we don't know what charity we've got. So we're going to start a little kitty, okay? So between you, me, and Vanessa, we're all going to play tonight. And we're all going to be playing for £1 English money or $1. Okay? So Vanessa, get off your phone. Put the phone down. This is your time. Well, we don't know what it's going to be because it was Vanessa's idea. She's put them all together. Okay, so we're gonna bring the wheel back on, and we've got a bit of a mystery wheel for everybody. Okay, so if you want to play along and you want to try and beat the three artists tonight, okay, you got Vanessa, Adrian, and also Miranda to beat tonight. If you don't beat us, you've got to pay double. You've got to pay $2 or £2 into it. Okay. So let's see what we've got. What have we got on the list? We have got 80s music, movie soundtracks, 90s, year 2000, music to drive to, wedding songs.
Why is that on here?
I know. Pub quiz, general knowledge. What else have we got? Fashion. Talent show winners.
It better not stop on landmarks, otherwise forget
landmarks. Music songs that have countries in them. Okay. Let's see what it goes on. Let's see we go. Let's spin the wheel. Let's see what we get. Oh, it's gone on general knowledge. Oh.
Crying out loud.
Miranda's like, for crying out loud. Her dollars have been spent already. I'm just going to put a random one in YouTube, so it might be easy. So, Vanessa, you've
General
chosen
knowledge
these.
is so
Okay.
vague, though. How do you narrow them
I
down?
know. Okay. So, general knowledge in.
It's like trying to pick how many M&Ms are in the jar.
I know. General knowledge quiz. Here we go. Right. Okay. Let's go. Everyone should know. Okay. General knowledge trivia quiz. 100 every quiz questions that everybody should know. Oh, yeah. How about if you don't know them?
We're on that show. Are you smarter than a fifth grader now?
Yeah, you're smarter than a fifth grader. Yeah, that might be an easy one. A general 40. Are you smart? Okay. Or okay. Vanessa, you've got a choice. Okay, we've got general knowledge quiz with Elon Musk's face next to a Canada flag. Okay.
No.
Are you smart? Or a general knowledge quiz to test your brain. You got 10 seconds. No, you just got 10 seconds to choose. I love One Life. It's very comical this evening. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pick test your brain. Let's test each other's brain, shall we?
Okay.
Okay, we're not going for 101 questions tonight. We are just literally going to be going for 10 questions, or we're going to be here all night. Okay, so 10 quick questions. Okay, so one, it doesn't get too expensive, but it seems like Tuesday are quite happy because they're going to have a little kitty going on before we've even started.
I want to know what Tuesday feels like as compared to the rest of the week. So if Tuesday wants to inform me what Tuesday is supposed to feel like, that would be amazing.
I did. If you go back to that interview, everybody go to Seems Like Tuesday. I did actually ask that question. I think it was one of my first questions. It was like, why come up with Seems Like Tuesday? What was wrong with Monday? You know, I was really confused. Why we got to that time.
Monday.
Everything's wrong with Monday. And I think that is what the answer that they give was everything's wrong with Monday. So basically, just said Seems Like Tuesday. Let's go. Let's try and find this quiz. We're going to be here all night. Okay, general knowledge quiz coming up, everybody. It's the time of the show everybody enjoys because they get to empty their wallets. Okay, so test your brain. 10 quick questions. Let's see what they've got for us tonight, and let's see if it's definitely on screen. It is on screen, so we are ready to go, everyone. Okay, general knowledge quiz. Let's go. Be nice.
General knowledge questions everyone should know. In this quiz, there's no multiple choice. You'll have to rely on memory. So if you're ready...
Okay, so first things first, Vanessa, because you can't see the screen, there's no multiple choice tonight. You've just got to rely on your memory, okay?
Let's get started. What is the fear?
Okay, first question for everybody. What is the fear of a spider called? I'm going to take Vanessa's answer first. Arachnophobia, Vanessa says. Okay, Miranda?
Yes, it is arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia for Miranda, and I'm also going to say arachnophobia. Okay, that's an easy one.
Fear of spiders called. The correct answer is arachnophobia.
We were all correct. Well done, everybody.
How many time zones?
Okay, how many time zones are there in the world? Miranda, I'm asking you first to answer this one.
Why are you asking me first? I gotta calculate because there's 4 in the US alone.
Because we're all going to take it in turns. So it makes it like we're not cheating with Google or anything like that. And we're not copying each other's answers. So you're one this time. How many time zones are there around the world?
I'm trying to decide between 6 and 8. I'm going to say 8.
You're going to say 8?
Probably more, but I'm just going to guess.
Okay, I'm going to say... I'd say quite a lot more. I'm going to go higher. I'm going to go 28. Vanessa?
Yeah,
probably. There's quite a few Indias. Like when it's like 5 o'clock here, it's 5:30 or hop. So I'm going to say Rough guess 36.
36 for Vanessa, 28 for Adrian, and 8 for Miranda. Miranda, you feeling a bit out of the depth now?
I've got to be able to do math
Are there in
here.
the world?
Come on, we all might lose out on this one. This is a hard one.
There are 24.
24. I was the closest. Come on, I was the closest.
We should have known
But we was all wrong, so we all owe £1 and $1. That was a hard one.
Time zones.
Yeah.
What do bees collect and use to make honey?
Oh, that's
Okay. What do bees collect and use to make honey?
See, how come you didn't ask me this one?
So Adrian goes first on this one. Okay. So I think that bees collect pollen. And that's my answer. Vanessa, what's your answer?
Nectar?
Nectar. Miranda? What's your
Pollen.
answer? Pollen.
Sorry, I
Oh,
was-
so there's
I was
two of us
contemplating
on pollen and Vanessa's on nectar. Let's see what it is.
The answer is nectar.
Nectar. Vanessa was right and me and Miranda was wrong.
I was contemplating.
What does
Vanessa's
the U
answer.
in USB stand for?
Okay. What does the U in USB stand for? Vanessa, this is your question first.
USB.
Yeah, what does the U stand for in USB?
I don't even know what the S and the E stand.
You don't know what the S and the B stands for. Take a guess.
Ultimate.
Sorry?
Ultimate.
Ultimate U.
Ultra.
Okay, no, ultimate. No, I'm taking your first answer. Ultimate.
Ultra.
Miranda?
Universal.
Universal. Adrian was also going with Universal. That means that Vanessa, I think, will be wrong on this one. And that means you owe £2 to Seems Like Tuesday. It
It
is
stands
Universal.
for Universal.
I'm an ultra.
And Cereal Bus.
Which blood cells help fight infection?
Oh, I know Vanessa's going to get this one, but Miranda, this is your question first. Which blood cells fight infection?
Do you want the medical term or the regular term?
The one which is going to give the correct answer.
Well,
Which
they're
one
white
is it?
blood cells. They're leukocytes.
White blood cells and leukocytes. Ooh, go you. Vanessa's got a big thumbs up there.
Yeah.
Is that what you're agreeing to, is it?
Agreeing with it? Yeah.
You're going for white blood
I'm agreeing with
cells.
Miranda.
You're going with Miranda, okay. Well, if you two are so confident, I'm going to go the same. Okay, I'm going the same. I'll go white blood cells. But if you two are wrong, okay, and it takes another £1 out of my pocket, I'm blaming you two.
Correct. It's the white blood cells.
It's the white blood cells. Well done, you two.
Fly from Exeter or Bristol airports. KLM Royal Dutch
No way,
Airways.
KLM. We're not
No
going
object.
on
Rico
aircraft.
Tobio, take it.
Right, here we go. Question 6.
What is the coldest place on Earth?
Oh, just that'd be mine. What is the coldest place on Earth?
At least you don't have to do math.
That's true. Which is the coldest place on Earth? I would say for me it would be. Well, my first answer I'm not going to give because I want to give it as a joke. So the joke answer would be Scotland because it's blum and freezing over there. But I would say the coldest place on Earth is the Antarctic. Okay, that's my answer. Final answer, Antarctic. Vanessa?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Is that the South Pole or the North?
No, I'm just going to the Antarctic. That's what it doesn't matter. So which one are you putting?
I'm going to say Arctic because I think that's the South.
You're saying the Arctic, not the Antarctic.
No, I think
You're saying the Arctic. Okay, Miranda, you've got your choice now, Miranda.
Wait, what did she say?
She said the Arctic. I said the Antarctic. I think she's just copying and just putting another verb on it.
South Pole.
South Pole.
Oh man. That's hard. Because I've been to the
Well,
Arctic Circle. I know
You've
how
been to
cold
the Arctic Circle. Was it cold there?
it was cold. I'm gonna
So
say
do you want to
Antarctica
say?
because
you're gonna
I
say
think
Antarctic.
might be colder.
Let's see what it is.
The correct answer
It's
is
the
Antarctica.
Antarctic. Oh, that means Vanessa is wrong again. That means Vanessa, it's £3 out of your pocket.
But to be fair, I've been to the Arctic Circle in Finland, and so I kind of know what it feels like in the north.
Well, that's very true. It's cold in London.
What
as well,
animal appears on the Ferrari logo?
Oh, Vanessa, you will love this one coming back to you this time, okay? So, Vanessa, what animal appears on the Ferrari logo?
Horse. No, hang on.
No. First,
It's the horse. It's the horse.
it's a horse.
The Ferrari is the horse.
No, the horse. A stallion. A horse or a stallion? Which one?
Stallion.
A stallion.
Final answer.
Okay, Miranda, what animal appears on a Ferrari logo?
It is a horse, but I thought the horse was doing something on their logo.
It's a horse that's doing something.
I think the horse is up like on its hind legs or something.
Vanessa's just put her hands up in the air as if to say it's on its hind legs.
But it is a horse, if that's all we're asking for.
Okay, so Vanessa's going stallion, you're going horse. I'm going to go horse too. If it says stallion on the bottom, you're wrong.
What?
I know. We'll see what it says.
It's a male horse.
It's a male horse. The correct answer is horse, everybody.
Yes.
Yes, okay, we'll give you that one, Vanessa, okay.
How long is a cat's pregnancy on average?
Ooh, Miranda, back to you. How long is a cat's pregnancy on average?
Why couldn't it be an elephant? I know that answer.
Why could it be an elephant? You know that? Why do you know an elephant? Tell us how much an elephant is first.
Look,
I'm really
know
interested.
How I know things. I just know I know them.
So how long does a pregnancy last for an elephant then? Before we do the cat, I'm quite interested.
No, I'm trying to think of a kid. Okay, I can't concentrate.
9 months.
I'm gonna go with
3 months or something. Isn't it? Isn't it 3 months?
I don't know, Miranda. Come on, let's go. We've got 2 more questions to do.
I'll go with 5 months. I don't know.
You're gonna go with 5 months, okay? I'm gonna go with
Allergic to cats.
I'm gonna go with 6 months, okay? So Miranda's going with 5. I'm going with 6.
I'm sticking with my original answer.
Which was
3 months.
3 months. Cool, poor cat.
Yeah.
3 months pregnancy. Here we go.
Yeah, it's probably better for the cat.
It probably was better for the cat, yeah.
It's about 9 weeks or 63.
9 weeks.
But that's like what, 2.5 months?
No.
This is 2.5 months, so none of us are right, but that's a quick turnaround, isn't it? Well, no, we're not doing closest. We all lost, okay? We're not doing the closest. We're not starting
265
cheating,
days.
Vanessa.
She was pretty close.
What is the only planet that...
What is the only planet
to
that
answer
rotates?
your first
Go on.
question, Adrian, elephants are pregnant for about 2 years.
Elephants are pregnant for about 2 years. Go on to Miranda.
Wow.
That's impressive.
I didn't know that.
No, nor did I. And I can't see Miranda, so I don't know whether she's Googling it or it's something that she just naturally knows.
No, I've known that. I think I learned it somewhere in one of the zoos.
There you go, everybody.
Oh,
if you've
random
got some
fact I remember.
crazy general knowledge in your head, please tell us on tonight's comments. Because knowing how long a elephant is pregnant for 2 years without looking it up on Google, Miranda's got it in her head. That's crazy.
Don't ask me
It
why
is,
I
definitely.
remember that out of all the things they tell you.
Vanessa's saying that's completely wrong for a woman, whether you're an elephant or not. 2 years is a long time.
I don't envy them. I think we should be like seahorses.
Seahorses, yeah, they're very quick, aren't they?
No. The males have the babies.
Oh, the males have the babies. There you go.
Yeah, they're like thousands.
And they have thousands as well, yeah. Right, come on, let's get back to the quiz, you two. Stop it. The thought of having 1,000 babies for being a male must be quite painful. Anyway, question 9, everyone, and it's back to me. What is the only planet that rotates clockwise? Rotates clockwise?
Ooh. Maybe Venus,
Oh my
Mercury,
God.
Mars,
Oh.
Jupiter, Saturn. I'm going to say Saturn.
That was my question first. I'm going to say Venus.
I'm sorry.
So, Vanessa, go on. Saturn.
Saturn.
I'm saying Venus, Miranda.
Wait, Aren't there some planets that aren't planets anymore?
It's what? Sorry, not planets anymore.
I'm some planets got booted out of being planets.
Some planets got booted out of being some planets.
Pluto got booted out.
Did they? Did Pluto get booted out? Poor Pluto.
Don't you follow science?
But then I think it got added back in. I don't know what they're doing. I'm gonna go. I'll go with Venus. That's fine.
You go with Venus as well. Okay. Let's see what the
It
answer is.
rotates clockwise.
Vanessa's got her hands up as if she's won it already. She's got it. The answer is Venus.
The answer is Venus.
Wow. Who got Venus? Who was
I knew it
Venus?
wasn't Earth.
Which is faster, sound or light?
Oh, Vanessa, as this is your quiz, you get the last one first, okay?
Every single question.
You have lost every single question, most of it.
Except for the cat one, because I was closest.
Apart from the cat one. But no, not that you're closest, okay? That does not count, okay? Seems like Tuesday are not going to be happy if they listen to this again. One, they're not going to be happy that it's a lasted 2-hour episode. But they're also not going to be happy that Vanessa's cheating their charity that we haven't even chosen yet. Right, okay, right. Which is faster, sound or light?
Light.
You're saying light, yeah?
Definitely.
You're sure about that?
100%.
100%. Okay, Miranda, what are you saying, sound or light?
Like,
You're saying light. I'm going to say sound.
No.
Okay.
You'd be wrong.
I'll be wrong. Woo! And if I'm right?
You'd be wrong.
Let's see what it is, everyone.
if you're right, you can put 2 pounds in the pot.
Yeah.
Light travels much quicker
Light
than
travels
sound.
faster than
Do
sound.
you know how I know that?
What is a group of lions called?
Right, okay, I'm going to put everybody out of their pain. That's the 10 questions. And I'll tell you what, tonight we have had such an amazing show. We've even forgotten what the time is. 1 hour, 21 minutes. That is because 2 shows were cancelled this week because of the storms over in the US. There you go, One Life. Don't say we don't treat you on a Sunday. Okay, we have given you an extra extended episode this evening. And before I actually switch off this evening, I forgot to ask Miranda, what is everybody, apart from the ISSA Awards and that amazing album of yours, what else is people going to have to get excited about for the next few months?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Oh, are you going to keep it secret? Don't like secrets.
Look, I will say this. All of my best stuff, I keep secret until the last minute, and I do it on purpose because everybody is so... I'm using everybody again as a general term. A lot of artists that I see on social media, and I know why they do this, okay? I do know why they do this. They will do a preemptor like, oh, let's get excited. I have big news. Big news is coming. Big news is coming. As an autistic person, that is the most annoying thing in the world.
It is.
I'm autistic. I'm going to get bored of your big news posts before your big news comes out. And so I purposely hold on to any big news until the last minute.
We know that we're going to find out what you're up to because you post it straight away on Facebook or on social media. So if anyone wants to know what Miranda is, exactly. If anyone wants to know what Miranda's getting up to in an amazing world of music or her life or her dating apps or also anything what's going on behind the scenes, okay, please keep going on her Facebook page and her website, okay? Please
and if
keep
you want
supporting
to be
her.
on the dating game show...
If you want to be on the dating game show, Miranda's taking applications in now, okay?
No, we'll match you with somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what, everyone? It's been an absolutely amazing, fun episode. I've really enjoyed myself. Miranda, is there anyone you want to say a special thank you before we go?
Well, there's lots of people I would like to say thank you to, but we don't have time for that. But I will say June is my birthday month.
Ooh,
So,
happy birthday to
Go visit
you.
my music, and that will be my birthday present.
Ah, brilliant. Everyone download the birthday presents, Miranda. She just wants you to keep streaming that music. Please do so. I am going to thank each and every one of you who have listened this week, and each and one of you have taken part, whether you are an academy student or you are one person who comes and listens to the show, or you've been on the show this week. We have had an amazing week. I am really looking forward to finding out who we're going to be supporting next week and for the rest of the month of June. Please take good care of yourself, everybody. And if you want to come and join us tomorrow night, I don't know if we're going to be able to top tonight, but I really don't. We have got the one, the only, Patsy Cline's cousin's coming on the show. The Debbie Kelly is going to be with us tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Okay, make sure you tune in because she is releasing a brand new track on One Life, which no one's heard yet. And it's going to be released live with us on One Life, okay? So join us at 7 o'clock for Debbie Kelly, and we will see you then, okay? Have a good night, everyone. I'm going to let Miranda go and have a bit of a chill. It's been a long one this evening. Take good care, everyone.